Wow. Wow. Love will never be the same. Thank you, Paul, for that. Thank you. And David as well. Good morning.
Good morning.
I am the Reverend Saba Mchunguzi, and it is my pleasure to be here with you this day, this wonderful springish day, to be sure. We are continuing our series entitled Living a Limitless Life. Living a limitless life. Living a life of abundance, a life of happiness, a life of fulfillment, living eternally and forever and ever and ever and ever. One of the things that we said last Sunday, which is kind of an important point, is that our physical bodies are not us. We are not our body. We reside in our body. We walk around in our body and we communicate with others, with the outside world, with the world around us through our physical body, but we are not our body. We are not limited and should not think of ourselves as being limited by our physical body. Indeed, there are people who believe that we can leave our physical body and travel other places and on other planes. The truth is that we, each of us, is spirit. I am spirit. Each of us truly, truly is created in the image and likeness of God. That's important because part of what we're saying in this series, and it is based on, as we said, the booklet, Aging with Grace, the Unity booklet. So we are talking about aging, going through this process in the physical body, but we are also saying that our body is ours. Did you get that? Your physical body is yours, just like your car is yours, just like your clothes are yours, and you can do with your physical body what you want to do with it. We are not limited by what the world says we can and cannot do at whatever age. The idea is to not focus on the outer, but to focus our attention and our understanding on that spirit of the Christ which is within each and every single one of us. In our bulletin for today, in the reading, it says it helps to look at aging from a mental and spiritual perspective. So if we're talking about aging, we're talking about evolving and growing. Well, one of the ways that we can look at it is from a purely physical sense. Another way that we can look at it is from a spiritual perspective, from a higher level, from the level of understanding that we have the power and the energy within ourselves to determine what we will and will not do, to determine what we can and cannot do in this physical body. And the author says that, talked about the perception of life and the perception of aging. We have a particular perception of aging, and what that says is that, well, when you get to a certain age, then you're supposed to get various ailments, all types of ailments, and when you get to a certain age, you're supposed to think about retirement, and you're not supposed to think about doing many things because, well, you're getting older and you just can't do all the things that you used to be able to do. The world tells us that when you get to a certain age, it's too late, it's all over. If you haven't done it by now, well then I guess you'll never do it. That's what the world says. The question is, what do you say? What is your attitude? What is your perspective? What is your outlook on life? Aging, and our author says, aging seems to occur to the degree that age is emphasized or de-emphasized. So you can emphasize and you can put emphasis on, well, I'm this age, I'm going to be that age next year, and so on and so on, and therefore limit yourself. Or you can affirm the truth about yourself, which is that age truly is merely just a number, and there are people all over who are doing all sorts of marvelous things in spite of their age, their chronological age. So there are several people. As a matter of fact, there was a show on television just yesterday, and it showed a number of people in the entertainment industry and so on, who are in their 90s and still going strong, if you will. The one that really surprised me, I'll tell you, is Dick Van Dyke. He's 94. And he wrote a book called Keep Moving. And the thing that really amazed me, he married a woman who's less than half his age. Did you get that? He married a woman who's less than half his age. So he didn't think, oh, well, I'm 90-something, so therefore I have to marry another 90-something-year-old woman. No. In his mind, he's still youthful. And if you see him in any show now, he's still dancing and he still sings and he's still alive and alert and enthusiastic about life, even though he's 94 years old. Norman Lear, one of the other performers or whatever that was on this show, he's 93 years old. And they showed a woman, her name is Harriet Thompson, who's a pianist, and she still plays piano. They showed her regular play at 93 years old. Again, it's the attitude, it's the mental perception of things, mental perception of your life. It's a matter of, I forget which one said it, but one of them said it's a matter of enjoying life rather than just showing up. Amen. Okay? Enjoying it wherever you are. They showed a woman, Tao Fortune Lynch. She's 97 years old, and she still teaches yoga that she started learning when she was 8 years old. And she dances. She's still able to do it in this physical body, so she is in control of her physical body, and she still tries to enjoy life and does enjoy life. One of the things she said was that we shouldn't sit around thinking of what we can't do. She said when you get up in the morning, you should say that this is going to be the best day of my life. Did you get that? It's that affirmation. It's that declaration about the control that you have, your God-given power to control and to determine your own life. She also said that within us is the power to do anything. That sounds familiar. And most of us are familiar with Betty White, who's 94 years old. I didn't know, she wrote 8 books. She's written 8 books, and one of them in the last couple of years. They showed Irving Fields, who's a pianist, still playing, and he's a songwriter, and he's 100 years old. Okay. So, I mean, there are many, many people. They show Kirk Douglas, who's 99 years old. There's a man, Jim, they call him Jim Power Cell Martin. He was in World War II. He was a paratrooper in World War II. And on his 93rd birthday, he jumped out of a plane again with a parachute at 93. So again, each of these people had and have a choice as to what they're going to do with their lives. Just as you and I have a choice as to how we are going to live our lives. And where, who else? It says in the fall of 2012, a major publisher brought out a new blockbuster book, The Lawgiver, by award-winning novelist Herman Wouk. I believe that's the pronunciation. He was 97 when he wrote that book. And then it goes on to say later in that same year, writer and teacher Belle Kaufman taught a course in Jewish humor at Hunter College, and she was 100 years old. So there are people who are doing all sorts of things at different ages. And what that should tell us, amongst other things, because obviously these are contemporaries, what that should tell us is that we too can do good things, big things, continuous things, miraculous things even. Wonderful, joyous, exciting things, regardless of what the calendar says. Did you get that? It is possible for you. And I was talking to my son, who was here last Sunday, and he's a millennial. And he said that even though the series is on aging, he still was able to relate to it as well, because he's got, as a millennial, he's got 50, 60, 70, 80 years ahead of him, all right? The point is, and he was making it, and we can look at these other people who have done wonderful and big things later on in life. The point is that wherever you are today, lay the foundation, lay the groundwork, begin or continue, intensify your efforts in terms of your consciousness, so that you will be able to live a life of fulfillment, so that you will be able to live a life of joy, so that you will be able to live a life of happiness as you get older. Our affirmation for today, it says, I am thankful for all that I have and all that I am able to do. This is significant because, number one, giving thanks is so important on our daily and in our daily lives. But the second half of this, and all that I am able to do, I give thanks for all that I am able to do, is because on a human level, the body does change. Did you get that? It does change. And we're not denying the fact that it changes. But our prayer, our affirmative statement should be to give thanks for all that we are able to do, even though we can't do today what we were able to do 30 years ago. Did you get that? It's still a matter of giving thanks. It's still a matter of recognizing and realizing that there is a presence, there is a power in you that is God, that is good. Now, the physical body may move a little differently than it used to. However, that presence and power, that Spirit of God indeed is still within each and every single one of us today. And that presence and power has not changed. You know that? It hasn't changed. And in our reading in the bulletin, it says, Charles Fillmore taught that we have a resolute, a definitive power of life within us, and the capacity of regeneration within each and every cell and molecule of our being. We have a capacity, the power to regenerate ourselves. And we've all heard this, that our cells die and we get new ones every 11 months. So the cells that you have today are not 50, 60, 30, 80 years old as your physical age may be. Your cells are no more than 11 months old. Okay. So we are really and truly working with consciousness, our consciousness. It says that our mind does not age, and our physical abode maintains its vibrancy through what? Physical and mental fitness. Physical and mental fitness and exercise, which means there are things on the outer that we can do to help ourselves to continue to live a good and fulfilling and a limitless life. Deepak Chopra wrote, "You are much more than your limited body, ego, and personality. In reality, the field of human life is open and unbounded." That's what he said. We say limitless, open and unbounded. The question is, what are you going to do with that power and potential that you have? We talk about looking at life from a mental and spiritual perspective. That definitely includes us taking time to pray, to meditate, and to be still on a daily basis. In the book of Philippians, I'm reading from the New Living Translation, the writer says, "I don't mean to say that I have already achieved these things or that I have already reached perfection." No, I haven't reached perfection. I haven't achieved all the things I want to do. And yes, the physical body may have some aches and pains, but I press on to possess that perfection for which Christ Jesus first possessed me. No, dear brothers and sisters, I have not achieved it, but I focus on this one thing. So he is saying that I'm focusing on the good, the Christ within myself, the Christ within each one of us. I focus on forgetting the past and look forward to what lies ahead. It was Raymond Charles Barker that said, "Yesterday ended last night." So Paul is saying that I forget about the past, what I didn't do, should have done, almost did, wanted to do. But I look forward to what lies ahead. I press on to reach the end of the race and receive the heavenly prize for which God, through Christ Jesus, is calling us. So the Apostle Paul is encouraging us. He's allowing for the fact that no, we haven't reached perfection, and no, we may not be where we want to be, and no, we may not have achieved all that we wanted to do, but through that presence and power that is within us, that presence and power that is God, we can continue the race, we can continue to evolve and grow, and we can continue to perfect ourselves and work with our consciousness. He goes on to say, always be full of joy in the Lord. And this is chapter 4, verse 4. Always be full in the joy of the Lord. I say it again, rejoice. Rejoice at any age. Rejoice regardless of what's going on in you and around you. Keep an attitude of abundance, an attitude of gratitude, an attitude of joy, an attitude of peace. In spite of, because again, we're dealing on two levels, and this is it's a difficult concept to understand, because we've got to pay bills every day, we got to take care of our kids and our grandkids, we got to deal with all sorts of those things on the outer, but at the same time, there is a spiritual part of us, there is a spiritual element of us that also needs to be nurtured, also needs to get our attention, and as we give it our attention, then it truly, truly will respond in a positive way. So we should always rejoice. And he goes on to say, don't worry about anything, but instead pray about everything. Amen. Pray about everything. Tell God what you need and thank Him for all that He has done. And as we continue to do this each and every single day, then we will indeed live a life of abundance, a limitless life, a life of joy and peace. And he goes on to say, now, dear brothers and sisters, one final thing. Fix your thoughts on what is true and honorable and right and pure and lovely and admirable. Think on these things. Think on the good things. Don't spend all your time thinking about all the bad things, all the things that's going on, and all the deadlines you got to meet, and all of the whatever. Paul is telling us, think on these things, and what you think about, what you bring about, and those thoughts held in mind produce after their kind. He says, think about things that are excellent and worthy of praise. My friends, the choice is ours as to how we will live our life. The choice is ours as to whether we will indeed age gracefully and push ourselves and push the boundaries of life and living so that we can do more and more and more things. It was James Dillard Freeman who said, dare to be what you are meant to be and do what you are meant to do, and life will provide you the means to do it and be it. Dare to live that dream that God has put inside of you. Dare to believe that you can accomplish that which you will, that which you desire. Dare to live that you can live a long and productive and healthy and fulfilling life. My friends, this indeed is the truth, the whole truth, and it cannot be otherwise. God bless you.